SR, or is it SD? What? SDGR Soundgear by Ibanez. Bass guitar, obviously. It's a very nice guitar, but it's in sad state. It's in a sad state. Don't understand the cover. What's going on there? Is it broken? Or what's that? Is there a battery in there? What the hell's going on there? It looks like it's. We're going to get to the bottom of that. All right. Now you'll see the nut is loose, which needs to be adjusted. It's in lousy condition. These things are 350 quid. It's an SR300E made in Indonesia. Double skunk stripe down the back to give it strength in the neck, which is good. Stop making noises, Austin. The strings are awful. This is a very badly maintained guitar. It's been sitting, it looks like it's been sitting for months with a big string. Look, the state of the strings are rusted through. So like no washing machine job for that, because some of them have actually snapped, as you see there, and they're so rusted. But the neck and everything looks fine, and it's a nice setup guitar. Good strong pickups. It's got 3 switches there, 1, 2, 3, which I don't know what they do, right? Which I will find out. 3, no pots, but it's got a 3-way switch there. Maybe that's the pickup choices. But look at the state of that poor wee thing. That poor, but this will clean up beautifully, and it's a lovely shape. The big problem is if you look closely there, look how high they've been set. And then when you look at the neck, you say to yourself, what the hell, what's going on there? You could drive a double-decker bus through there. So we need to look at this to see what the problem is. Let's look at the back. It's got a battery compartment, 4 screws. This could be a very nice guitar. Is there a battery in it? Let me just see. There's a battery in it. What kind of battery is it? Is it cheapo? Was it Supercell, not for resale? That could have come with the original thing, but we'll look at that in more detail later, and we'll have a wee sneaky look in there too to see what's going on. This is upside down. I'll have to turn this around now. I think before I take off all the strings, I'm going to test the electrics with just the 3 strings on it and see where we are. Let me just swap these around, right? Put the 90-degree into the amp. It's interesting, it's so quiet. Ah, they're active pickups. So the battery must be duff. Let's change the battery. Let me just change the battery. I must always remember to take out my batteries, because my batteries are chargeable ones that I don't like losing. Not for retail sales, super sales. Not for retail sales. Well, it's for the bin, as far as I'm concerned. That was the bin. That was it hitting the bin. And I'm told that the black, this is the Amazon, the black is the better one. You'll have a black band is the stronger one. There's a grey band, paler grey band, which is a sort of weaker one. And if you're going to buy any, I would say buy the black band ones. Can you see with my nutty head? Let's see if that makes a difference. You're not keeping that guitar because I'm getting it back again, because I don't like losing them. Let's see what we got. That makes the difference. But what does that switch do? Well, I don't have a clue, but they're working anyway. The electrics is working. So I'm going to take the strings off, and then I'm going to look at this here, down here, because they're not going to be for anything anyway. Mind you, I did use the E-string, the fattest E-string, because my drain was blocked the other day and I put it down the drain. So I kept it. I kept that one because that might be useful again in the future if I ever get my drains blocked. Use a big old E-string. Just have a look at the work. You want to look inside while we're here? We'll just have a wee look. Nothing we need to do in there. Very neat. Very neat. Little, let's just see. Whoa, I like it. Little preamplifier and circuit boards. That's neatly wired. Right, if you can see in there, the switches have got circuit boards on them with little diodes on the circuit boards and stuff like that. So there's something going on in there. I'm not going to touch it. That's neatly wired, but I'm not going to touch it. Okay, I am so glad that the electrics are working, because we don't want to touch the electrics, do we? Right, and then we're going to look at the neck to see what the neck's like, to see why it has it so high. Right, you can come down. Right, neck bar. Where's the neck bar? Let's see what we got here. There is an underbow on it, and with this bass guitar I think I prefer to have a bow that way because of the amount of pressure it's going to be under. I need to see what the hell's going on up here. Let me just bring this down for you. Is this just a design concept? But I'm not going to... Oh, what happened there? Oh, right. Ah. Woo, look at that. A slide away truss rod cover. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Look at that. A slide away truss rod cover. Ain't that neat? Hey, ain't that neat? If you've got exactly the right truss rod thing, that's a good idea, but then you're putting all your weight on that one screw. But that's very, very clever. So let me see what the truss rod is, and to see if we can adjust it, and if we have the right. Yeah, and it's very loose, so I'm going to give it a wee turn. Give it a wee turn like love. Okay. Alright, okay. I'll just give it a wee turn. I have not seen a truss rod cover like that. That's very good. I'm actually going to be giving it another little turn, but I'm actually going to be, when I put the strings on, I'm going to check it again. But there was very little on that. That's probably why there was an underbow, because the truss rod wasn't doing an awful lot. So, put that away, close up that truss rod cover. Hello.
From Tessa. Can you help with the sales? Might need some string.
Right, I got a feeling. Can you help with the sales? I bought my ex, who's still a good friend of mine, my ex of 20 years.
From Tessa. Do you want spaghetti tomorrow evening?
I want spaghetti tomorrow evening. You bet I do. I bought her a boat. I'll show you a picture of it. I found it in the auction, and I got it for £25. She likes these little boat things. And then I found out that it's worth £250. And I am very pleased with it, because she likes these little things, and her house is right beside the sea. These are a little bit loose. That's a bit tight. That's a bit loose. Oh well, they're both loose. That's why the screws are loose. I see. That is tight for some other reason, because the screw is loose. So I'm going to have to lubricate them. You see, I thought that was tight, and if I hadn't have checked that, that might have fallen off one day and get lost. Those are very unique looking tuners. They're very nice looking tuners, aren't they? Okay, now I'll just clean up the back of this a bit with the wire brush while I'm in there. Just get that out of there. I'll just check they're tight. This is more or less, if there's no real problem with the neck, this is more or less just a straightforward setup. Maybe the string height is because somebody didn't really know how to adjust the truss rod. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. This is a nylon brush that I'm getting in there to try to keep it clean. So right now, the next thing to do is to clean that neck. And that neck doesn't seem too bad. And I was thinking about this the other day. Some people will put tape on and do the frets. And that's I do that with some guitars, but not all guitars. It's a bit rough up there. But what I do whenever I'm just cleaning the frets, I'm using 2000 grit sandpaper. It's 2000 grit sandpaper. Now, why people put the tape on is because they don't want to damage the fretboard when they're doing this. But 2000 grit sandpaper is so fine, it's almost like polishing the board. So whenever I do the frets, it's not going to do the fretwood any harm, because I'll be doing. Oh, here somebody's calling me. I'll have to pause. So I'm considerate to you. I spared you the boredom of me sanding down and cleaning the frets, because all I was doing is running a bit of sandpaper over it. This little thing up here, a little bit pale, so I'm going to try to hide it a bit, because I have some magic markers, furniture touch-up markers, and I'm going to put them on my hand and rub it in and see if that hides it a bit. Oh, I like it. I like it. Right, okay. Doesn't that hide it a bit? Doesn't that hide it a bit? That looks nice now. Right, okay. All it is furniture marker, permanent, indelible, and that's hitting it. Just that bit. And then when I put the nut on, it'll look a lot better. And where is the nut? What have I done? What's in there? Right. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the oil on, which is my favorite job, because that's all been cleaned. And I'm going to put the oil on, which is now. I'll let you suffer me putting the oil on, because if I'm going to suffer putting lemon oil on, you need. Can you smell that? Can you smell that? It's lovely. And this neck has not ever been oiled, I don't believe, because it just is as dry as a bone. So that's all I'm going to do tonight, because there's a Star Trek episode that's with my name on it. I don't know what it is. You know the Star Trek episodes where Data pretends to be Sherlock Holmes, and I hate those. I think they're just pathetic. I like the Borg ones and stuff like that, but you see those ones where they pretend to be Sherlock Holmes and indubitably my dear Watson. Oh God. Yes, I know that Data is the modern day well, at the time, modern day Pinocchio, a machine that wants to be a man, but oh God. Anyway, that's it, oil. I'm going to let that sit and soak in. Maybe even put a second oil on it and then clean it all up. So I'm going to pause the camera with my other hand. I've looked this up. I spent a bit of time researching it. And as I cleaned it, I realized that it's a much higher grade base than I thought originally. It's gun smoke, gun barrel, chrome on it. And this cleaned up beautifully. I spent ages cleaning, maybe 2 hours cleaning this. It didn't take long, and the knobs cleaned up beautifully as well. I'm going to put the strings on, if Georgie girl will let me, because she's just woken up from a long sleep, and I'm sure she's got full of sprite and wants to destroy my strings. So I'm going to pause first of all to get my other glasses and come back and do this. Right, that wasn't long. The lights are all on. And we'll do it from the base first of all. what I will do, that neck is perfectly straight at the moment, perfectly straight. So I'm going to raise those intonators, and I'll just pause for a second. I'm having to bring these up to give some action to the room, back up to where they were. So the only one, well, that's about right now. I'll try it with the bass on. I'll try it with the amp on, sorry. Don't like it as high as that, but you can fix that by putting a shim on the neck. But I don't think it's going to be necessary in this case, so let me just plug it in and see what's happening. And see what we got. That's it, knock it on the side. That's an excellent action, a very straight neck, a very good quality guitar this. So the owner should be quite pleased with it. So right, I'm going to just tidy this up, and it's going back to his daddy. I'm a very happy daddy, I'm sure, and I'll do a little bit of play on it, but I'm not a bass guitar, I'm not a guitarist. So let me tidy it up and play a little tune. I particularly like this contour. It's very smooth and lovely. It's got a battery in the back, obviously, and it's got all sorts of little. Wish I could be very intelligent about it and tell you that this is all wonderful stuff down here, but it's just great. I don't know what it does though. It changes the tone, that's for sure, and there's a middle click and everything. But I did think I heard a bit of a wah 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 wah. So yeah, like a woom woom woom. So I'm not a bass player, don't forget. Let me check this tuning. Lovely, lovely sounding guitar. Wish I could do it justice. Don't like the colored strings. Think it takes away from the quality of it, but the pickups are marvelous. The pickups really are. Listen to the sustain. They're active pickups and they're run by a battery, but as soon as you unplug that, the battery disconnects. But it is a wonderful guitar. I particularly like that shape. I do. It's very feelable. You really just want to run your hands across it all the time. The neck is extra long, you know. It's just anyway, it's going home to Daddy today. Daddy's coming to get it, so say goodbye to it. I really do like that guitar.